I'm back. Okay, so we roll another random start. Slenderbot. Hello, hello. The Chad. Okay. Silver Crucible has served me well. Might just do it again. So one thing that's neat about the Silver Crucible too is there are a handful of events where you get to like choose 2 of 8 cards, 2 of 8 commons to add to your deck. Those get upgraded by the Silver Crucible. So you would think you would want to find like the early hallway fights. Not necessarily. The events can give card rewards that are like a little bit better and still get upgraded by the Silver Crucible, which is pretty damn strong. So I'm feeling pretty good about rolling with events. Then can do Campfire and Elite, and hey, potentially we could get a card that lets us guarantee a safe Elite fight, and maybe we haven't procced all the Silver Crucible things yet, but we might just go that way. Or like around this way. All reasonable options. And then could hit a late act store, but if we're hurt, we could go this way too. If we're feeling extra peppery and spicy, we could fight some elites. And I really like this Silver Crucible. It is pretty nice. So let's do it. All right, C-Punk. Bash. Why are you forsaking me? Come to me, Bash. We need you. We're 1 shy lethal. C-Punk is being a real punk. That's right, don't be bashful. Alright, unless we get the worst draw in the world, he's dead. Okay. There's a moment. I saw a bunch of defends on my screen and I'm like, no! Okay. Headbutt, Hemokinesis, Iron Wave. Hemokinesis got buffed in the upcoming patch, in the beta patch. Which I find interesting, because I kind of think it's a pretty good card. I'm deciding between Iron Wave and Hemokinesis. Headbutt has like a great long-term potential. Well, it has okay long-term potential. It's good in Spire 1. I don't know, maybe I haven't found a place for it in Spire 2. Hemokinesis is, of course, just like do a lot of damage, which can sometimes just end fights, which is nice. But Iron Wave Plus is actually pretty nice. I'd probably go Hemokinesis. It attack for a big number. Get attack for a slightly bigger number? That's a pretty disappointing enchantment. Oh! Let's transform a card. Transform a strike into... Sword Boomerang? Can we reverse these 2 events? Heal 10 HP, keep feasting. Procure a random potion, keep feasting. Alright, we're done feasting. Sludge Spinner. Okay. Second Wind is here. Second Wind is a great card. I actually really like Taunt as well. But Second Wind is just... it's just a good card. Even if we're not talking infinites, it's good. But as soon as we start talking infinites, it becomes really good. Would have been nice if we had the money for the rare card reward in that event. It would have. And I think this deck does barely have the tools it needs to do an elite fight. I don't know, we are... yeah, I think so. Let's upgrade Bash. Now, let's do Bash Second Wind. This fight could be a little bit painful, potentially. Just defend. Wondering if I should use the stable serum here. Not shuffle these strikes in. Maybe I do that on the next shuffle. Right, because I'm thinking about keeping the defends in hand for Second Wind as well. How much damage can we do? 15 plus 9. I actually think I'm going to. Okay. So we get one more turn of Retain. But I think he's just dead. Gorget, or Gorget, or whatever. Stampede is here, Pommel Strike is here. I think if we've got this Second Wind, I think we take the Pommel Strike because we are close to potential degeneracy already. Like, very close. And this is a way of getting there. Stampede's a good card, though. So let's upgrade Sword Boomerang, I suppose. So how would I feel about the other potential elite fights? I think fine. Probably won't end up doing 2. How do we feel about Waterfall Giant? Pretty bad. Might just need to go to the Waterfall Giant with a bunch of hit points. And use our body as a shield. So 2 elite fights feels like it might do too much superficial damage. But it also does give us a couple relics, which probably aren't going to make the difference for the boss fight. So might just be like this. We'll do this one. I mean, do I upgrade something or do I just rest and... It's not full value, but maybe that's fine. All right, there are 3 hit points that we didn't get the full value from, but I don't really want to upgrade those. And this is probably the hardest fight for this This guy right now for us. So we got 21 damage on the hemokinesis. So we can actually hit any of these. Does which act you're in affect relic drops? I don't think so. Alright, so we'll have hemokinesis to kill him next turn. Kill that one. Hopefully, right? Because we have to draw it. So almost full blocking. Very close. Play. And probably sword boomerang, or is it better to bash? I'm not sure if the strike sword boomerang is better. Or just doing the bash. Maybe it's just the bash. Get one vulnerable. That's probably correct. Maybe the front one since he's buffing for strength. See what we draw here. And can just strike and kill that front one, which is probably just the play. All right. This is one of the fights that got nerfed in the beta branch. And I'm going to be honest, I find that puzzling. I don't feel like this fight is that bad. Sentinels, it's a little Sentinel-like. It's Sentinel adjacent. It's a slight nerf. Yeah, it's a very small nerf, to be fair. But it still feels like a weird nerf. Okay. Crimson Mantle, Howl from Beyond. Interesting. I think Crimson Mantle is the play. Those are both nice cards in fair decks. Yeah, we're not going to be making one of those. I mean, the thing about Howl from Beyond is that we can continuously exhaust it with Second Wind. And if we get our defense out of our deck, this is a way of pretty much guaranteeing that we just gain 7 block and then do 16 damage. Oh god, no, you're right. No, Second Wind doesn't exhaust. No. It's not an attack. It's not an it's an attack. It's an attack. It's an attack. It's an attack. Slurgy's losing his mind. Slurgy's losing his mind. Ignore everything I just said. It's not true. Let's go with Crimson Mantle. And let's go this way. Let's fight another elite. Pop, 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 pop. And we only need to defend once because we got a Gorget, a Gorger. Okay. I even did it without taking sloppy damage. Skip? These are kind of bad. This feels pretty skippy to me. Yeah, it's a skulking colony. And do I play the Hemo for the 5 damage? Probably. Yeah, we just block here. Because next turn he's doing his, like, yeah, weaker attack. Okay. Lucky Fish. Inferno is here. Now, Inferno with the Crimson Mantle and the Hemokinesis is pretty good AoE damage. Oddly enough, because of the Gorget, I don't hate Stone Armor here. Not gonna take it because I think I'd just rather have more damage, but Stone Armor, not bad. Genuinely not bad. This clad is on fire. This clad is on fire. Let's do like that. I think there's not a single draw where this doesn't save us 1 hit point. Is Body Slam that bad here? If we have the Crimson Mantle in play, we are guaranteed to always have 8 block. At a minimum. I just kind of love Body Slam is the thing. Perhaps irrationally. I just love a Body Slam. I just love a slam and body. I don't think we really need it though. Probably just skip. Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly why. Because it could be blow if we're working on an infinite and we're only like a couple cards away from an infinite because, well, we're Ironclad. You're always just a couple cards away from an infinite. And let's go Inferno. Like just more damage more quickly. So let's play one of the defends, and we're just gonna try to gun him down as quickly as possible so he's not making his steam eruption too violent. And I guess I'm gonna do Inferno Bash. It's an okay turn for a flex pot. Inferno is nice because it makes the infinite faster if you use Bloodletting. That's true. Did not find our second wind. Probably still play the block here though. Clap. So is it smarter to play the Pommel Strike or not? Yeah, it was smarter to do it. We got rewarded. All right, actually not bad. Not bad. Skip? Colossus is like okay in setting up, and we can always second wind it away. Click blue, not gold. But we love feeding the fish. No, I think the Colossus makes this slightly smoother on the way there. I think it makes it slightly smoother. Pale's Wing? This is great. Pale's Eye also could be fine. But I'm into that wing. Love me a good melty chicken wing. Relics for days. Okay, now what is the pathing here? We want to go to shops? We love shopping. We're fine against all of the Act 2 elites, actually. Fine adjacent. Entomancer is maybe a bit of a problem. Centimillipede, not a problem. Is that true? I think it certainly costs HP. But let's go up this way. And no, maybe not. I actually think I'm gonna go this way. Go through campfire, then go to here. And I like that kind of anything can happen at this point. All right, so we're getting attacked for 24. We can block for 19. Use the aerobic acid. Stoke? Played this one, I guess. And I guess that one. Well, let's just try again. I guess I'm gonna play the second wind. Okay, not gonna play the second Crimson Mantle. Yeah. Weird fight. Sacrifice. Pale's Wing, give us treasure. Ah. Pale's Wing can sacrifice here. Now, what do we want to see? I feel like it's Necrobinder. I feel like it's Necrobinder. This sure looks like a sacrifice to me. No way I'm going to want any of these. We'd rather have a Venerable Tea set. Page Storm, nothing. Sacrifice. Sacrifice? It'd be cute to make a big scythe. For no reason other than it's cute. I guess that's not a good enough reason, huh? Sure it can. Sure it can. All right. Defend Crimson Mantle, I suppose. Just gotta find our Inferno. Plop, plop. All right, pretty clean. Sacrifice? Maybe a True Grit? I don't think so, though. True Grit maybe could come in handy later, but if that ends up being true, we will assess that when the time comes. All right, so let's Inferno Colossus. Crimson Mantle Bash. He's doing a lot of acrobatics. This Louse Progenitor. Second Wind is such a good card. I can't believe the Second Wind is an even better card in this game than it is in Spire 1. Crazy to me. I guess I'd rather have the Cure All than the Ashwater. I don't think we actually need the Ashwater for anything. And this kind of feels like a sacrifice to me. Anchor. That's a nice one. So if I were to go to an elite that is better rarity on card rewards, which could get us one of the uncommon or rares we need to set up our infinite. And I think we're pretty good against the Act 2 elites. Entomancer could give us some problems, but I think we got good potions for it. Yeah, Desicenta Millipede I think is actually fine. I'm going to do the Cure All here at the beginning. Well. Because we just want to find our Inferno. So is there any benefit to bashing one? I suppose we might play a Colossus. So let's do it to this guy. Okay, so there's the Inferno. So that'll make this not quite lethal. Next, we'll do 23 plus 9. So I suppose I just play the defend. Plop, plop. So now Hemo could kill. Do I want it to kill, though? I guess that's sort of a real question. Yeah, I think so. Next we do 18 at the start of the next turn. This makes him do quite a bit less damage though. To where a defend is already sufficient. So maybe that's fine. Plop, plop. Sure can. Okay. Vajra. Stoke? This card is being changed in the beta branch, by the way. The thing is Stoke actually the pick here? It is. Okay. Just second wind here. Need to get to our Inferno. Deck's getting a little bit low on hit points. By deck, I mean character. Ashen Strike would be nice. Yeah, we would take an Ashen Strike. Alright, so we need to get the Inferno in play. And I'm thinking about doing a dupe pot on the Pommel Strike. And then just second winding. Maybe not. I'm going to duplicate the Hemokinesis. This is a sacrifice. And here's what I don't like. I kind of feel like resting is a good idea. Which means not shopping. I mean, the question mark could be a shop. Potion Belt. God, we want it to be a shop then. Potions would be so sweet for the fight against the Insatiable. Venerable tea set. I drank all my sparkling waters. Very sad about that. Okay. See you nerds later. Plap, plap. Sacrifice. Or Blood Wall? Sacrifice. That's got to be enough hit points for the elite fight, right? I think so. Let's upgrade Colossus. I think we try to keep the enemy vulnerable and use Colossus as much as we're able. Crimson Mantle Stoke? I think so. Second wind away that defend. Bash Colossus pretty nice here. Aha! You can't hurt me! I'm bigger than you. I'm a Colossus. 25% extra HP. Or am I talking about the wrong game? And I think we try to just end this as fast as possible. It's actually flat HP bump now. We reforged. Guess we just kill, huh? White Beast statue. Oh, we sacrifice here. Would I ever go this way? No, I'm gonna go this way. We're just gonna hope that that question mark is a shop. Do I play the bash? I'm gonna keep the stoke. Hello, Inferno. That's so much damage. Maybe that was bad. Maybe that was the wrong way to do that. Swift Potion. Pillage? So Pillage doesn't give us like an infinite, but Pillage gives us like a something. Ritual? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So I like they're either one is a part of a combo potentially, right? You think the energy gen is rarer? Maybe true, but of the ways to combo infinitely, you don't need energy gen at all if it comes through Hellraiser. You also, one of the parts that doesn't need energy at all on one half of it would be Spite. Where are you, Spite? So I feel like the energy generation may be less useful, maybe a little bit too narrow. Still on streak or beta now? Still on the streak. I guess I could put something physically on the screen. Why didn't I do that? Text. How big is this? Oh my god, it's huge. Let's make it smaller. And of course, we're going to make the scale filtering a little nicer so it's smoother. Someone's proud of a streak? Well, I mean, yes, but also if people are asking questions. I want to see how long it goes. I mean, because it's big? Oh, yeah. Well, I made it small. Maybe it can be like Osti. It increases in size. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this also could just be a skip. Second Inferno carries. Actually, Second Inferno is not terrible because whenever you lose HP on your turn, we'll deal 18 damage, and we actually lose HP on our turn also through the Crimson Mantle, which would make it do 18 from that. So in all seriousness, Second Inferno I think is on the table. It also makes the hallway fights smoother because we just need to find that and then just like plap, 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 plap. Kill enemies. Yeah, Sack gets a relic. 36 per turn plus 18 per hemo is a lot. Yeah, right? Inferno does more damage to Insatiable. What do you mean? I'm gonna take the Inferno. Ah. I think Ember Tea. The strength is actually better for this next fight anyway. Strength better than upgrading our starting hand. Best not to underestimate the Insatiable. We will be resting here. And we will be using a fish oil. A lot of damage. Okay. Yeah, we got an expensive strength pot. Yes. That is what happened. Could consider a skill pot here to maybe block more. This sucks. Maybe Cascade could be useful in the future, I don't know. No way to go infinite with expect to fight now. No, I mean, we got too many statuses anyway. If we had the pillage, if I'd grabbed the pillage, then technically it could get there, but I might grab expect a fight just because I think that could be useful later. How long is this fight gonna last? How much does a single chemokinesis do? A lot. 26 plus 18. When vulnerable, a number higher than that. 26 times 1.5 plus 18. So whatever that is. I don't know. 26 plus 29, 39, 18, I don't know, like 50-ish, more than 50. Yeah, I could use the draw potion. What I'm wondering is if I use the second wind on the frantic escapes. That's where my head's at right now. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the energy potion. I don't want to underestimate this guy, seriously. We're gonna use one of these. We're gonna use one more. Then we get rid of those. Ugh, garbage. And he's dead. All right. Skip? Or sacrifice, I should say. We don't need this, though. We just don't need this. We don't need AoE damage, too, with the Infernos. Does 1-2 punch go infinite with pommel and energy? I don't think it can draw itself, even with 1-2 punch. So we still need like a second thing. The copy draws the original? Are you sure? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think it's a sacrifice. I mean, 1-2 punch is not terrible. Viewbot 5. Incredible. Incredible. Account created March 16th, 2015. Miraculous. I think we follow Viewbot 5. Choose your bracelet. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. You can never have too many weapons. Boy, if I'd grabbed the pillage, we'd have infinite. If I'd have grabbed the pillage, we'd have infinite. Can you get the +2 strength for an elite? Is it even helpful? Yeah, it's helpful. Infinites are kind of boring? Sure, I agree. I think they're terrible. I think they're more than just kind of boring, they're awful. Looking forward to playing on the beta branch. But I'm gonna see how far I can take the streak. All right, so late act shops we definitely want to go to. Kind of have enough money, I could go to more than one shop, and I feel like that's a good idea. So maybe up this way, either this way or this way, then through the shop at the end. And the Sai is kind of cute. Try Boomerang, I think is what I'm gonna go with though, because I want to make the Pommel Strike free. And then all we got to do is find a Spite. They buffed Hemo, and yeah, I was kind of surprised they buffed Hemo. All right, I'm gonna make Pommel Strike free. They also changed that blessing, which I think is good. And I'm gonna do Inferno Sword Boomerang Stoke. No. Rupture or sacrifice? Honestly, sacrifice. Rupture seems very strong. I mean... Alright, let's focus damage on this one and kill. Okay. Perfect block. Let's at least try to, yeah, conserve a little bit of hit points. Sacrifice, we don't need these. Bellows, okay. Pick a fight, obtain a relic. Gained a pair. We got a fake shopkeeper here. Strike dummy increases the damage of pommel strike. Probably still not worth grabbing. I can skip all these. Don't think I'm interested in any of these. No, I'm gonna go to the real store. So let's see. Probably still play both of these powers. Alright, so that gives us our Snowflake. So if we just defend Crimson Mantle, yeah. And I'm gonna second wind away the Stoke instead of the other way around. Okay, I have Bash Colossus. So we're going to try to end it next turn, here this turn if we can. Should be able to. Another weak potion. Stampede is here. I think we just sacrifice. Honorable mention for Bloodwall again, though. I think I'm gonna sack. Abacus Finesse. Got there. Don't actually need the Abacus, just the Finesse. So we'll have to think about how this actually happens in practice, though. No, I think we're just good. We just get the Finesse in the discard. As long as we second wind, what are we setting at? 1, 2. Oh yeah, we're good. All right. Yeah, bloodletting too little too late. Yeah, no need for bloodletting. Gremlin Horn might make the route there a tiny bit smoother. I don't know, I might just look at the second shop's stuff. If an enemy had a Beat of Death-like effect, Abacus would be cute. Abacus is a kind of a key part of some of the Slay the Spire 1 infinites if you're ever able to pull them off, which they are rare. But in those cases, you know, when you do your Slay the Spire 1 infinite against the heart, you have to accommodate for the Beat of Death. Somehow, the Abacus can be a way of doing that. Whetstone. And I'm just gonna play it easy. We're gonna go to that rushed spot. Also great versus Time Eater. Yeah. Yep. Also great versus Time Eater. Abacus Rage, Mental Fortress, the silent one that's a rare that gives you 1 block whenever you play a card. Whatever that one is. After Image. Yes, thank you, After Image. Get this crap out of my hand. I'm gonna play this Colossus though. All right, look at us go. I don't have enough cards to draw. Okay, first world problems. Dexpot. Sure. Second Pommel Strike is here. Don't need it. Don't even want it. Happy Flower. Okay. Tanks was also changed in patch. Yeah, they changed that, the buff Instinct. I like the change. I think they made it do more damage, which I think is just better. I think it's just better. Like, better design. Alright, so we'll have Stoke in the next hand. So I guess I can just second wind away this. I guess we'll get rid of the Colossus. We're not going to get through his artifact charges. This is a great hand to just stoke away, huh? Well, would you look at that? Don't worry, this ramps up in speed. Every 3 attacks, the damage goes up by 1. See? Now it goes up to 15. And well, I guess that's where it'll stop. Radiant Tincture. No need for a Radiant Tincture. I think we'd rather have these ones. I can't imagine the energy being relevant. And this is just a sacrifice. Oh, we could be a member. So if we're at 360, then this is a deal. Let's be a member. Remove a strike because it makes our lives easier. And we leave, I guess. I could grab a Thinking Ahead. I don't think I want any of these potions either. These are all totally reasonable and fine. I would take a Gambler's Brew if it were offered. Maybe we should just use the weak pot. Should have used it there. Could have saved a tiny bit of health there. Stable Serum? Ooh, actually Stable Serum for the Queen fight. And we're gonna go right for her. I feel like I should use some sort of potion, but I guess not. So this is a pretty good stable serum, because then we can stoke. I mean, it really kind of doesn't matter, but we're happy to get rid of literally that entire thing. So let's just, I guess, use the Lucky Tonic. Plop. So now we can stoke this, and I think then we're good. Okay. Goodbye, Queen. Little tiny bits of damage. Plonking her away. She made us weak. You may not like it, but this is what peak Ironclad looks like at the moment. She chose the slow death. She chose the slow death. Interesting, I saw the lasting candy, like, effect there. All right, so I guess we'll use the deck spot. And we'll just play these. Death by 1,000 pommels, death by 1,000 pommels. Stoke this away. Yep. Make sure we play the finesse. And we can thinking ahead if we want. Yeah, I'd like to think ahead. I think in the future, I'll play finesse. I'll play finesse, then pommel strike. So let's go ahead and second win this away. Where I'm going, we're not going to need any of those. And it begins. We beat down the door. Actually, hold on. Yeah, please bash the doormaker. I got you. I got you. Petition to play bash. Yeah. Good call. And because it performs so well, we'll end with a hemokinesis. All right, streak is up to 6. So the Archdemon's thrall has arrived. Enemy kill. And victory question mark? Streak up to 6. So upgrade or update it on the screen as well. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to use the restroom and then we'll see if we can do it again. Be back in just a moment.